Hello, good morning students, and today we are going to start a new topic in lesson number 3, and this topic is globalization. So we hear every time globalization word, and we come across this word in number of times in our daily lives, that globalization is there, our life has been changing, it is affecting our daily needs and others, etc. Then today we are going to find out what is globalization and how it is affecting the lives of millions of Indians as well as the people living in the abroad countries. So what is globalization? Globalization is a process in which the economies of the world are integrated. तो ग्लोबलाइजेशन क्या है? एक ऐसा प्रोसेस है जिसमें इंडिया की इकोनॉमी और बाकी दुनिया की इकोनॉमी इंटीग्रेट हो जाती हैं, एकीकृत होती हैं, इकट्ठी हो जाती हैं और फ्री फ्लो ऑफ गुड्स एंड सर्विस यहाँ पे होता है. मीन्स देयर इज free flow of goods and services. Then there is no trade restrictions and the people can move from one country to another for trade as well as providing services, and the goods manufactured in some other country are also available in our country. So we can first say that the integration of the economies of the world in one common system is the globalization, and globalization has helped in our many ways in our country. It has provided employment. The goods of various countries are available in our country. Then there is competition among the various competitors, and we are getting the best goods with the best price. And the globalization has helped us to sell our goods in far off countries which were not possible earlier. It has helped the economy in many ways. Our economy is growing day by day and our exports are expanding. So we can say that the markets in the world, they are all integrated due to globalization, and we are going to discuss about it in the given topics. So the first one is outsourcing. What is outsourcing? Outsourcing is an activity in which some activities are outsourced or given to some other party to do it. Suppose that there is a school, and in the school the main work is teaching the students, but if the school is providing canteen and tries to this activity to some other person or some other agency to do the canteen work, or some other agency who is doing the cleaning work, so in this way the school is outsourcing its non-core activities to the other agencies. So in outsourcing, what is done? The work other than the non-core activities are outsourced. Today we find that a lot of places in our country and spheres, they are outsourced. The foreign companies, they outsource a lot of things to our Indian companies or counterparts. As labor is cheap in India, then the production cost is low, and to enjoy this facility, a lot of companies of the foreign origin, they outsource a variety of work to the Indians, and this work can maybe a variety of types like accountancy, business recording, then the recording of the events and activities, then the production of goods in our location in our country, then we have the film editing, inscription, clinical advice, as well as the teaching and tutorial activities also, they are outsourced in our country. So what is the benefits of outsourcing? The benefits is that outsourcing is done only of the non-core activities, and in the outsourcing process it is done to achieve the cost efficiency. Means those activities are outsourced which may cost more to the firm, and if they are outsourced to some other agency, the cost will be very less. So to enjoy this facility, the activities are outsourced, and in India It has become a platform because the BPO or the call centers, they run in India 24 into 7 throughout day and night, and they provide the customers satisfaction by giving them appropriate information. The IT industry in India is very well developed and is providing each and every type of information to the customers. Now we are coming to the next thing. The WTO. The WTO came in existence in the year 1995, and its predecessor was GATT, General Agreement on Trades and Tariff, and the GATT was organized in the year 1948 with 23 countries. But today we have more than 190 countries under the banner of the WTO, and the WTO is working to promote equalization in the trade. That trade becomes equal to each and every country. Both the developing and developed countries, they enjoy the trade facilities, and if they have any problem related to trade, they can solve under the banner and on the platform of the WTO. So WTO is facilitating a trade and fair trade between various countries and nations, and it is keeping the countries' disputes on one hand and solving the disputes such that there is no tension and quarrel between the various countries regarding trade. So it is a forum or an agency to solve the disputes regarding trade, and it tries to enhance the trade relation between various countries in the world. Now, the WTO has taken many measures, but some countries in the world were more developed, like the US, Germany, UK and others, they don't obey the obligation of the WTO. They force the developing countries to open their markets for their goods, but not their own market for the developing countries' goods. So there is not equal and fair trade among the various countries. So this is a critical problem on the hands of the WTO, and the WTO is failing to solve this. So the shortcoming of the WTO is containment of the developed countries according to the laws of the WTO, and they are not obeying the laws which are maintained by the WTO. So the WTO is facing the problem of from the developed countries in the world. Now the next thing, Indian economy during the reforms. We are going to discuss about what are the conditions of the Indian economy during the reforms, and we can conclude that the Indian economy, its growth rate was very much and it developed to a great extent. We will continue this topic in the next class also, and for today this much only. Thank you very much for listening to me. Have a good day.